So that's the cool thing with real estate. Like, I'm like, fuck it. Like, I could do the same thing.
And then you can also do this.
Exactly. And then I'll go hard. Because the other like hustle is that now, like, I just checked the comps in Rahway. They charge $75 to $50, $50 to $75 an hour to rent a studio. So like, let's say this is fun and we want to keep doing this. I'll just be like, yo, let's go rent one of these things.
That's when I did, me and Harold, Jason, and Juanca did like the whole thing. It was supposed to be like for UFC stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like a fight companion?
right. Something like that.
Yeah.
And when we went, it was just too expensive because it was in Manhattan.
How much?
So
do you know?
I forgot.
It was like
to figure that out.
3 digits, right? Like over the $100 mark for sure.
Like,
Bro, here, right by the train station, adult studio, $50 an hour. Bro, I'll do that all day.
Hell yeah, that's a lot.
I feel like I would spend money on dumber shit.
And you got, but I mean, this is even better because
Yeah.
you're in the comfort of your home and you got all the equipment.
Yeah, like with people like you, like I'd rather do it. Like I was gonna say, like we can even do it at your house. I was just thinking about Thor.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Thor's just gonna want to be in the
100%. 100%.
But if not, because what I wanted to do, Rich, was like, yo, we should hit like the cold plunge, and fresh out the cold plunge, just.
So the other thing, because that's the next thing that I want you to do. I forgot what it's called, the Nordic cycle, I think it is.
Yeah.
So I did 20 minutes in the sauna blanket.
You remember the temp? What's the temperatures?
It only goes up to 160.
Okay.
That's the only thing. So since I have the sauna blanket, it doesn't get as hot, and you have to go a little higher. So I only was able to do 2 rounds because it took too long.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be 20 minutes in the sauna, 3 minutes in the ice bath, 23, 23.
Yeah.
Dude, it's OD. So after that, the next day I did my like interval running.
Yeah.
And my VO max and my HRV went up by like 30%.
Ooh. Oh, and you were gonna tell me a story about your boy.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
please tell me. Yeah.
So he's the one that told me about it.
Yeah.
Danny Masser. He has like his own YouTube channel too. It's called Breathing with Danny.
Breathing with Danny.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he started doing it, and just with doing the Nordic cycle alone, his sauna goes up to like 230 though.
And he has like you go in it or you wear it.
No. He has like an actual full sauna at
That's
home.
dope.
Yeah. He did the full 3 cycles, 23, 23, 23. And just on that alone, his HRV went up by 41%.
That's crazy. And it's been consistent like that?
Consistent. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. So like me, the thing with me is that since the sauna blanket, it takes a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the first 20 minutes, 23. Then when I got back in the sauna, I reached the 20 minutes and I was still kind of like just
good.
warm.
Yeah.
So I ended up staying in the sauna blanket for another 20 minutes. And then I did 5 minutes. And it's
Wait, so you did 40?
I did 40. Because the thing is like...
You got to feel it.
Yeah, exactly. The point is to sweat.
Yeah.
So once I started sweating, I got back in the ice bath and I did 5 minutes.
At what temperature, you remember?
Oh, it was like 33. Because it was just ice, dude. It was ice. I had to like punch.
Yeah.
Like that
The little cover. Like, yeah.
So I had about at least an inch and a half of ice all along the sides. Yo. So I had to like punch it out.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I would say,
and it worked.
Badass.
It worked. It definitely worked. Because just on my the garment alone, I was able to see, and it told me my VO2 max had kind of just one day.
That's crazy, son. That's gonna help you like crazy too with swimming.
I hope so.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
I feel like
For sure.
Yeah.
I know since I started swimming and I started doing that, even my respirations have gone down.
it makes sense.
Yeah, especially at like sleeping.
Yeah.
It gets down to like 41.
You know what I was gonna
38.
say? I'm like, people like if you probably look dead when you're sleeping at this point.
Dude.
Like if someone touches your
And my
pulse.
respirations are probably like 0. Yeah. But it's definitely has made a difference to, because like I said, I'm working out a lot now because of my work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But soreness has been good. Like I haven't really been sore at all. And I'm able to bounce back quick. So I have my morning workout. I eat, hydrate, 20, 30 minutes later, I could jump right into a class.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Again, same thing. I get back, I eat, hydrate,
So many calories.
right back in. Yeah. And I'm completely fine.
Yeah.
And the first week I wasn't as consistent with it, with ice baths and like the whole thing. I also really got into like the box breathing before going to bed, which I'm sure has a lot to do too.
Yeah, I don't know what box breathing is.
It's just 4 in, hold, 4 out, hold.
Yeah.
And you just do that I do it for like 5 minutes usually. Or at least sometimes I do it until I just fall asleep.
Yeah. Is that to get like the carbon dioxide out?
And it helps your respiration rate and your heart rate down. But once I started doing that, because the first week at work I was like, okay, I'm pretty tired. Then by the second week, I already had about 10 days doing this process.
Yeah.
I was just like completely fine.
That's great. Has your eating changed?
No, I've been eating a lot more.
Oh yeah. You know how much calories the ballpark you have to consume to maintain?
So I have 3 breakfasts.
What do you eat?
So in the morning, as soon as I wake up, I'll have a high calorie protein shake. So I'll put avocados in it, oatmeal, honey, yogurt, my protein, fruits, a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I'll have that with.
And you're throwing the weight gainer one, like with the high
with the
high calories.
Yeah, it's with that. So it's just in that shake alone, it's almost, I would say at least 1,500.
Yeah, because the thing has 1,000 calories already. Yeah.
So that's before I even leave the house.
That's crazy, but it makes sense.
When I get there, I work out 6 a.m. to about 7:45 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll eat my second breakfast.
Which is what?
Which is usually like just oatmeal, with a protein scoop, something just like a bowl of something, nothing crazy. And the last workout is at 10:50, so I'm done usually by noon. So in between there, I'll have like another little snack. So I'm technically eating three meals before noon.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting the amount of calories you're burning, bro.
It's a lot.
And you're like me. I'm like, I get it. I talk to you about this all the time. Like trying to maintain now that I'm like in shape, trying to maintain weight or like even gain weight. It's not the same thing, man.
Just seeing that like what I told you, the last 3 days I wasn't feeling all that, so my appetite wasn't the same, and I lost 4 pounds,
bro.
Just like that.
That's good. I was in jiu-jitsu yesterday. Yesterday in the morning, I weighed in at 176, 177 as soon as I woke up. I got back from jiu-jitsu, and I drink the weight gainer, like the protein. Right after jiu-jitsu, I drive over, and in the car, I'm drinking it.
Yeah, cause that's what you want. You want to be able to. Yeah,
but the thing is, like, I'm putting something in, and I weighed in at 171.
Damn,
crazy, bro. I am like doing like once we do the training, the second hour of just rolling, I don't stop like we spoke about. So I am burning like crazy, but bro, 7-8 pounds.
It's a lot.
It's scary.
It's a lot.
Because
you got to make sure you're hydrating. So like especially the most important part with that stuff is making sure that your potassium levels are really high.
Yeah, I drink Element T. I don't know if you ever heard of it. I'll show it to you. It's like a little packet, but it's like a ton of sodium, ton of potassium, and a ton of salt.
That's what you need.
Yeah, so I do that every morning, like especially the jiu-jitsu days, just because I know
I should probably get on that too.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple.
So I have like my just pure electrolytes. That's what I have on my thing right now.
Okay.
Electrolytes. I do like obviously creatine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But potassium, we have bananas.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, that's like one of the main focuses. One in the house and in the fitness unit thing. It's bananas because you need it.
Yeah,
now you imagine. Like sometimes like you don't know. Like for example, I did my own workout. Then we did like a podium one, which is like calisthenics a lot of times. So like got the kettlebells, maybe some dumbbells and stuff. But then the second workout, everything got frozen over. Which was like last week.
You're outside.
We're outside.
I didn't know you were outside.
Yeah, dude.
The whole thing is outside.
The whole thing is outside.
Oh, yeah. And the temperature is irrelevant. Oh my God! I didn't know. In my mind, there's like an indoor gym.
No, this is all outside.
Nah, son.
Yeah, the academy, everything's outside. And when was it? Friday. Like there was like the snow down. I was running for like 4.5 miles.
Bro, your watch doesn't even account for like the amount of shivering and like your body trying to warm itself down.
So usually
there's so much calories being burned there.
But it does show because it definitely
does?
the days that it has been colder, there is a calorie spike.
Okay, so it accounts for it
for sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd be feeling sometimes you see them and you can tell like, bro, I've been there. But you just gotta toughen up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's what it is.
And that's what you're building them up for.
Exactly.
So
some
like,
of them just don't
good.
have it though.
Yeah.
So like the other day when we went on that 4.5 mile run, I knew it was shitty weather, but you know, like I'm a little more used to that embraces such, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And we're running. It's supposed to be a 4.5 mile.
So you're running, right? How is it?
So it's usually 3 of us.
Okay.
There'll be one guy that's leading, and there's like the middle group. Somebody's in the middle, and someone is in the tail end.
You're on like one side, and then the guys
depending
are.
if you have to like move around, then you kind of like switch around and stuff. Just make sure you're keeping the pack together in a sense, which is almost impossible because like the different levels of fitness and stuff. It's funny because you think that it'll take by the end there might be a tail, but if a lot of these guys are so bad that if you do a 2-mile run, you'll have like a mile-long tail.
Oh my god!
By the end of the second mile.
I mean, I get it.
So it's so hard. So the last class on Friday, I ended up trying to take the back. That way, I can like keep just going, bouncing back and forth from the middle to the back. Like, try to encourage these guys. So at one point, I'm running backwards, like. These guys are struggling. So I'm running, talking shit the whole time. This all quit, no grit. All quit, no grit. Keep going. Like, you know, I'm trying to encourage them too. Like, yo, catch the guy in front of you. Like, I gave him the whole David Goggins thing. Taking souls. Like, I know you listen to them. You think you're him, but you're not. Like, you know, the whole thing. But a lot of these guys, it sucks because you see some of the dudes that like have a lower level of fitness, but they're still trying. Yeah. They're giving it
like what they got.
Their best. They're genuinely like, when I tell them, like, catch that guy, like, go now. They really give it their best effort. There's some guys that just, like, they just don't have it in them. Like, they're just, like, take 2 steps and, like their body just doesn't know how to be uncomfortable.
Do you have guys that walk out? Or, like, kind of tap out or, like...
Oh, there's dudes... Well, there's no... I haven't seen anybody, per se, just leave. Yeah. But there's guys that, like, in the run, they're just kind of like, I'm going to trot it out. Like, that's it. This is all I have in me. It's really frustrating.
I could imagine.
It's really frustrating.
I could imagine.
Because the thing is, like I said, I get that everybody has different levels of fitness, but everybody should have the same level of effort. Yeah. And these dudes are, my boy Danny's always saying, like, find it. And like sometimes you're like, what? Find what? Like, I don't, what are we looking for? Like, they don't understand. They don't even know what that means.
Yeah. They
like,
don't know how to dig deep.
You know, like if somebody works out and you're in the middle of a set and they like tell you find it, in your head, you're like, find it inside of you. Like, find something else inside of you to like help you out. They generally sometimes are like, what are you talking about? Find what?
That must be so frustrating. Yeah. That must be so, because like, and then do they, like, I guess I'm trying to imagine it, like, because you guys are all in shape. The people that are there, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
everyone's pretty, right? Yeah. Like, but either whether they like it or not. Do you guys have issues like relating to them, or do they think that you guys have issues relating to them? Like,
I think some of them think that like we're overemphasizing how hard it could be, like being in a fire or some shit like that. And the problem sometimes it's not even their fault per se, because the thing is the fire department has given people too many ways to get in. So like if you fail this, okay, then you could do this to try to get in. You fail that, oh no, then just do this. Where really like there should just be like a standard to be able to graduate. Like here's the line, either meet it or you don't. Yeah. Right? And that kind of has bled into like people's attitude.
Got you.
So what I think what's gonna happen at least is that one day these guys are gonna, you know, hopefully not, but if you find yourself in like a really shitty situation, there's no like, well, if this doesn't work, then
I'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah. Now you have to like push forward somehow. Like,
got you.
In some way, shape, or form, you gotta find it.
Yeah, and then you guys are like active too. Like if you need to like work fire, so you're also thinking about. I'm assuming like I need this motherfucker.
You might be working with one of these guys.
You gotta have my back.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them are great. Some of them are not.
Yeah, my boy, who's a cop, his like first month, I think it was. I don't know what happened. He was going up the projects in Queens. Point is, and it was like popping off. He was hearing gunshots, and he's expecting his boy to be behind them. And he wasn't. Yeah, bro. I remember this was years ago, but he told me that story, and I was like, "What did you do?" He's like, "Nah, someone saw him in the precinct. Like it was on site." Like,
yeah, man, that's insane.
And the guy like quit, but I was like,
"You see that other thing that happened to the other day in New York, where the two cops go up to a guy in a stoop, and the guy kind of like tries to like grab whoever they were going after, and he's just sitting there. He pulls out a gun, and the male cop grabs the guy. The female cop just goes and starts shooting with her partner between
Oh my god.
him and the other guy. Yeah, I don't. The fact that she didn't kill both of them
I was
is
say,
a fucking
yeah.
miracle.
She didn't kill her partner. Lucky
I
son.
mean, I think they both got hit.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna say that it was
Cheddar
the other
Bob.
guy.
Yeah.
But no, she definitely cheddar bob. This shit. Yeah, dude.
Son, nah, bro.
And that's the thing. But again, it's because when you give people a way out, like
Yeah.
you get a false idea of like what it really is. And then when you find yourself in that situation, it's just fucking pure chaos.
Yeah. Because you never been there. Like that's it. Yeah.
You have to be able to get people to that. And you can never recreate it in a classroom setting, but you try to bring it as close as possible.
For sure.
And I mean, in the military, some like at least in Ranger Bat, I think they were really good at that. But I don't know that a lot of other places are.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you gotta have it too. Like, I feel like me and you have our own motors, but like the way like the way you have a motor is not the same way I have a motor, but we understand that like we both know how to dig deep in our own way. Like sometimes I'll be like, yo, I don't want to get in the cold plunge. I'll be like, yo, just call me a bitch one or twice. Or like just tell me you did it. And then
exactly.
Naturally I'm gonna be like, no. He did it? No, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like that. But
just like that decision.
Yeah.
The decision is made and then that's it. It's
that's
just
it.
forward.
You're doing it. Like same thing. Like with jiu-jitsu, I was like, I kept hearing like you've done it before. And then Olaf tells me he did it. Then Alberto tells me he did it. And I'm like, nah, son.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm like, I want to keep my friends. That's another thing too that people don't understand. You want to hang out with I want to hang out with you. Like naturally, if I want to spend more time with you, I have to find like commonalities.
Right.
Like people's like, nah, that's being fake. No, like for me, it's like I know what I want. I know what friendships I want, and I'm gonna be like, all right, me and Morgan now, like we ain't planned this, but I know we're gonna have shit to talk about.
And it also has to do with how constructive that thing is too. Like you knew that like all these things that we are doing, they're constructive in some way, shape, or form. It's not like you're just doing the thing just because someone. It's just okay. I know that there's a space for me to grow in that too.
Exactly.
So like,
and it relates, right? Like all these things we're doing that me and you always talking about, it all goes back to like us chasing these things. And like once we get to a certain like plateau, it was like, now let's chase something bigger. And then it's just figuring out different ways, like in our own ways to keep chasing.
Yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Dude, which brings me to that thing that I wanted to talk
the
about.
perpetual carrot.
Yeah, dude. So to me, like one of the biggest things I've ever done, obviously what I told you was being in Ranger Battalion. They called us the 1% of the 1%. It's very difficult. There's like statistics that say that like in a year, you get as many Rangers that graduated the class as many people that get hit by lightning in the United States. So you felt, when you graduated, you felt like, holy shit, I did like almost, it felt like the impossible, right? So I was part of one of the bigger classes of my year. We graduated 17 of like 270 or something like that. The next class after me graduated, I think it was like 6 guys. But going into it now, one of my friends was saying that the standards have changed because the military has been, not the military, I think almost like the workforce period.
Everything, yeah.
They're just trying to get people in. So they've been graduating 50, 60 guys at a time. So there's no way that you're finding 60, 70 studs
all of a
sudden.
Yeah.
The standards have changed. And then I start like, obviously everybody wants to think like that was in my class, right? But then right away I was like, fuck. Like it wasn't that long ago for me. And I'm sure that was probably already like a problem that was starting around my time, right?
Yeah.
So then
what year?
I graduated 2015. Okay. 2015, I think it was. And then obviously right away, like, the way we think is just like point a finger back at you, like to see where you were at. And I'm like, fuck, was I one of those people? They kind of just like, oh, like
take it easy.
We need the guys.
We need the numbers.
I don't think so. But then it just kind of like, it fucked me up a little bit because this thing that I have like achieved now felt like,
a little washed down.
right, it felt washed down, even though the next class was a lot shorter than mine, right? Cut two, I realized at the moment that I kind of like, because one of my buddies from the fitness unit was like, oh, like how was the experience? And it just kind of put two and two together. I was like, oh shit, around that same time that I kind of like made that realization, which was recently, was when I started doing all these marathons and the 50 miler and all this other shit. And I was just kind of like, oh fuck, is that me trying to make up for this fucking thing that like,
It could be.
yeah, right? Like, I guess it's been bugging me that much. So now triathlon, I'm trying to get to the Ironman and all this shit. And the other day I'm driving home and I'm like, fuck, I think I'm trying to make up.
Oh my God, yeah.
For this thing that got taken away from me. Not taken away from me, but it really did feel like it gave me just enough doubt to be like, okay, now I got to find the next thing to really test myself in a sense. That perpetual carrot.
Yeah,
sense,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It really, it was a really weird thing because like I know how difficult it was to get there, and I have an immense respect to everybody that graduated with me, and I know the guys that got through deserved it. But hearing that, like the whole like they're graduating this many people, and then like kind of then looking back and thinking like, shit, was I what I could have been one of those people, right? Because they don't tell you, and it just kind of lit up that fucking thing again on me. It was just like kind of like, oh, the work doesn't end, like that thing of like kind of graduating. It made me maybe gave me some security. It's like, oh, but I've done it.
Yeah.
But it again gave me this like, nah, the rent is due again.
Yeah, bro.
Because now you're having doubts and you don't feel good about yourself. So what's next?
Every day.
Yeah.
I think more and more with everything. Every day. Like I tell Maris all the time, like I wanted that every day we choose to be together.
Yeah.
It can't be like, oh, we're stuck. I'm not stuck with you. And I'm like, you're not stuck with me. Let's make this clear. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, okay, I want to be with her.
Yeah.
Same thing with the kids, bro. I'll be like, every day, I'm like, I want to be your father because I can just leave if I want.
Right.
Right. And it's like, and then I think that vulnerability and that aggressiveness towards making a choice is what allows for growth. Like you were vulnerable. Like, I feel like it's important to be like, yo, like instead of like doubting yourself or like, nah, I'm overthinking. Nah, you self-reflecting. You're like, oh shit, like, man, was I being a bitch? And like, I think it was a big deal, and everybody goes in and
or like how long am I gonna live off of that accolade too?
Yeah, that too. Right. Are you gonna be that guy? Yo,
like, oh,
every time you get drunk, it's like, yo, son,
you don't know what I did. Like, it doesn't matter though. That's it.
Who cares,
yeah,
bro?
Yeah, it's
what have you done lately?
Yeah,
no one cares. Like, so I
think
us.
I don't think you care either. Like, I think every time people bring shit like that up, it's really you trying to like kind of like, oh, I'm still that guy, but you don't know anymore, like, because shit changes. And I know this shit changes because in a sense I was always a pretty good athlete, like I was in shape and stuff like that, but I never became that person until I got through those experiences. So the same way that I became that person until I got those experiences, once those things get taken away, you could go right back to where you were before.
Yeah.
So it really is like it's a everyday work, because especially if you're being honest with yourself, because you really can't live off of like what you did the other day, because eventually you're lying to yourself, and there's gonna be a point where you sit down and you're like kind of like, fuck, I haven't done anything in forever.
Yeah,
like, I haven't progressed in any way, shape, or form.
That's why the perpetual carrot for me is like what I always think about. Like, what am I chasing? Like, you got to be chasing something. I feel like then what's the whole point of all this? Like you got to see what you got. Like, what else you got in here? And then what's funny is like you get to a certain point, you're like, oh shit, I got more. Damn. I got more. I got more. But that's fun, right? Like, and I think that's for sure one thing I know I need to work on, the self-reflection. Like, oh shit, but look at all the stuff I've done.
Yeah.
But it's so hard because it's like, I don't care. And no one truly cares like what you've done. It's same thing. It's like, but am I still that guy? Do I still have the same engine? I don't know. Let's put it to the test.
I've that's one of the big things. For like example, like recently I just did my closet. Like I just fixed up everything was all over the place. And Daniela found like all my medals and the stuff that I got from the races and the boxing matches and all this other shit. And I had it all in a drawer,
Beat out.
like with socks and underwear and shit. She's like, "Why is this stuff all here?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, like whatever."
Yeah,
like it's just stuff kind of thing. But she was just like, "Oh, like yeah, it is just stuff, but like, you know, these are things that you did. Like you should like, you know, treat it a little better." And then later on, I was just kind of like, "Yeah, maybe I should kind of like maybe look at it at least and be like, okay, you know, like I've done all right."
Yeah, like that. I think that's good. I just think like it's like for me at least like a slippery slope, right? Because then it's like I don't want to put it on the wall, and then again you end up becoming
it.
that
Yeah.
guy. Like, oh yeah, like
I did that.
I don't need to wake up to go to the gym today,
Right.
you know? Like,
Yeah.
look
Yeah,
at me.
exactly.
I'm good, bro. I'll go ahead, please.
Not just that. It's just it really is a slippery slope. Like that mentality is the same mentality of like those fighters that like you ever seen them that they kind of like get stagnant in their own style or thing.
Yes.
And throughout their whole career, it starts working at first. Like obviously it starts with knockouts and wins and knockouts and wins. And then they lose and then they still doing the same game plan and then they lose again. And they're still doing this game. But because they're stuck in like, well, but this is what worked for me.
Yeah.
It's like, but everything needs to change.
Well, like I said, the thing that I always think about that I've learned that I think is one of like my strengths is like people like I always tell you, like people love living in like the black and white. So I try to make it an effort to live in like the gray. That's what I always tell them. It's just like live in the gray, Ronnie. Like there is no foundation. And as soon as you think there's a foundation somewhere, like if you let up, shit is constantly, and that shit is scary. I get it for most people. It's like, yo, I need something like static that doesn't
To feel grounded.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah, that's not real. That's legit not real. I've learned that more and more. And I think the more I embrace that, like, just the uncertainty, I'm not this, I'm this right now. Like, and if I want to continue to be this, I have to work at it because it's either up or down. But there is no, like, that's it.
It's the same.
It doesn't exist.
It's the same thing with people that like identify so much with what they do for work.
Same
It's just
exact
kind of
thing.
like you see them and like, oh, this is like I don't know what I would do if I was in this, and it's just like that's scary, dude.
Yes.
Because like this could very easily be taken away. Like no matter what job you have, like you should never. I don't think you should ever identify with your work.
Hell no.
Like sure, you should be proud of what you do.
Yeah.
Like I'm very proud of what I do, and what I've done. But like I like to think that I'm a lot more than the things that I do for a living. Because what happens when that gets taken away from you?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Now what?
And not even that. Like, how are you supposed to grow in what? Let's just assume everyone loves what they do for a living. But how are you supposed to grow in that? Like, most new ideas come from like other things you're doing. Like, you know, like most of so the manufacturing that made Ford famous came from another industry that was doing it. He was like, oh, I could just move that over to here and just do the same thing. Like, that's the cool thing with jiu-jitsu for me. Like, it's just problem solving. Like, high stakes problem solving.
It really is.
Yeah. So
It's
then,
anything combat sports, that's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
it's a dance, it's a chess match, it's fucking everything. Yeah.
instant feedback.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that helps me in real estate. Where like now, like whenever we have the big decision to do, like I'm super chill.
I know you said it. All you guys literally like problem arrives and you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Like just kind of look at it for a little.
Like, were you not expecting a problem? That's what I'm saying. Like, live in the gray. Like, I don't expect anything to go right. I shoot for it. Like Jocko says it in the book, right? Like, you plan, you execute, but like then the plan gets busted, and now what?
Plan for the worst.
Yeah.
For the best. Yeah.
That's
sure.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I feel like that's the better way to do it. I tried the other way.
Yeah, it's never and the thing about that too is like if you're always kind of like that, not preparing for the worst, that's where usually you get slapped around, and it's just kind of like, all right, now you're in a depressive state.
And then what?
Yeah,
And then what are you gonna do?
it's a lot easier to just prepare for the worst. It's the same thing where like when it comes to fitness for me, I try not to have easy workouts.
Yeah.
Like same thing when I was fighting, it's like you really try to like make the gym the worst place possible.
Yeah.
That way when you go to fight, everything seems easy.
Been here.
Yeah. Even like exhaustion, like for example, like the last jiu-jitsu tournament, I didn't really train for that.
Yeah.
But I was working out hard as fuck. So I knew how to be tired and uncomfortable and feel like I was suffocating and stuff like that. So like most of the people sometimes train and they train comfortably. When they find themselves in an uncomfortable situation, then it's just kind of like they fall apart. one thing that I tell the guys, so this is FST course, is like a obstacle course that the firefighters have to go through. And at first, obviously, like you teach them like kind of the way of the land. Like,
Yeah.
okay, memorize. This is the course. This is the way you should be doing. This is the techniques. Blah blah blah. But like the second to last day, which is like the last time that they practice it before actual finals date, where they get there like the last time, I always tell them like try to red line. Like even if you like say fail today, or like you make a mistake, or you run out of air because everything is like on the mask, so you have to try your best to red line, like get like right there.
Yeah.
Just because now this final day, you know how hard you could push without making that mistake. Like, because there's if you don't get there, you don't know where you're gonna land. You know, so like it's the same thing as like, for example, like if you're trying to get better at running, you need to find out, like say your first, like for a mile, it's good to find out your mile sprint time.
Yeah.
So that way you could work on your zone 2s and zone 3s and get better at that. To
Based
then when you
on
come
that.
back,
Yeah.
right? Same concept. This is the same thing I think with combat sports. You should be able to red line in the gym. That way you know how to pace yourself throughout fights. This is why another thing too, like I saw a lot of boxing gyms that I went to. When they used to spar an extra minute on the round. And that was good in a sense to get in shape. But then what happened is that internal clock gets fucked up. So when they went into fights, they were losing a lot of decisions because they were pacing themselves off of their internal clock, not the clock that was there. So a lot of the rounds went by really quick. So 3-5 rounds would go by and they're like, shit,
I'm good, but
I didn't.
but
exactly,
I could have done
like,
more
I could have done a
volume.
lot more.
Yeah.
So I think it's always good to just work with the actual slotted time that you have, and try to redline in that environment and see where you at, so you could pace yourself in that time, because there really is an internal clock when it comes to these things.
Oh, 100%. If you've done something so many times, right? Like any time, like even with jiu-jitsu, like it's for us, it's like 6 minutes nonstop. This is always 6 minutes. And same thing. He's like, nah, 6 minutes. That's normally like the competitions you're going to face. They're going to be 6 minutes. Just get used to 6 minutes. Like for now, we like for white belts where we're at. So it's just 6 minutes. I can probably call like when time is up at this point, because it's just so many, like so many times. Yeah. So there is for sure an internal clock.
Yeah, that was the same thing even when the competitions that I did. Like I told you what was my plan. I was like, for the first half, I'm gonna try to just get a lot of reactions and get them tired. And then the second half, I was just gonna try to really turn it up and make sure that like my physical abilities kind of like
match me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna have to outskill me, outmatch me, but we'll see.
We're gonna both be tired.
Yeah. Let's see who's got more.
And it worked out.
It did.
It worked out.
No, for sure.
Are you gonna do any of the next ones?
It's just my knee. Like I'm standing again. What we're working on now is I have no stability. The 3 times I've tried to stand up for the whole day, twice I've sprained my knee and I was out for a week. I have no stability.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's not like, I know, like we said, I'm working on like dropping and like getting ready for like a sweep, or like making like at least end up at a 50-50. Because then now I'm like, better off. But bro, I can't. Like there was a move I tried to do. I think they call it an ashi. No, it's like it was 50-50 here. And I got my right foot, let's say they're here on right next to me, 50-50. I was able to get in front of the person. So all I had to do was lift my foot back and just turn it.
Come over, yeah.
Problem is, if I'm lifting this foot,
knee,
bro, and I just collapse. I have no stability. Damn. That's the problem. Yeah, so it's like I'm going in at a handicap.
Yeah, and at that point, it's just kind of like just learn the art, and like you don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, and I don't even mind. I just want to be competitive, because I know what's going to happen. If I do that and I lose, now
the next one.
It's over. Because now I want to get the I want to like get the ACL surgery. I want to rehab, and then I have to really ask myself, like, do I really want to commit all my resources to this, or do I use it for what it is now, which is like, for one, I guess stay in fucking crazy shape. I can at least like, I have some boxing background. It's nice to have a grappling background as well. I'm gonna compete sooner or later. Yeah. I the coach is telling me to.
When is it? It's Mason's thing is next week, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah. I feel like we have to, just to show love. Bro, he's turning into a monster. You have to see his last couple of roles. He's turning into a monster because he's not like that fear is gone for one. Like of like going
Matching,
in,
now
yeah,
he's
it's
actually
over.
like, yeah.
Transitions are on point. Like everything so far, like everything's he looks good.
I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, the wrestling is gonna be the issue.
It's the 28th, right? Or the 29th?
The 20
Is it
yeah.
Sunday?
I don't know. I gotta ask Hoff,
All right, good.
but I'm definitely going.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm
It's
excited.
crazy to see these kids. Like, when they grow up under it, it is insane how good they get and how quick. And that goes for everything. Because, like, there's this kid that I used to watch on Instagram. He was like a Muay Thai boxer.
Yeah.
And the kid was nasty with it. He was like 7, 8 years old. I'm like, this dude is going to be sorry. And I saw that now he just got signed by ONE Championship.
How old is he?
I think he's like probably like 18, 19.
God, this he must be a monster,
He's
bro.
a beast. He's a beast.
That's what it is. They got, you know what? Someone made a point. I think it was a comedian made a joke, and I was like, oh, that's actually true a bit. It was like, yeah, these dudes, they don't got bills. They don't got baby mamas. Like
They got no worries.
They got not. Or they can legit wake up like on a summer day with no school that day. Like they can legit wake up how we used to do back in the day. Wake up,
just
go
do
play
the thing.
ball or whatever it is you do. Like with a $2 to your name, like a Slurpee and like some chips.
You can't even get hungry,
bro. 10 hours, bro.
Yeah.
10 hours of pure like
stop. Yep, dude. I remember I used to, like now I can't go more than a couple hours without a meal. And in high school, I used to go to school, baseball practice after. Well, we used to get out like like a little early to go to baseball practice. Then I would go straight to the Lower East Side and practice with my boys again because I was in the summer team. And I wouldn't get home until 7:30 on one meal.
bro. That's what my mom used to give me like $2-3. Never forget. Bro, I used to play CeeLo in high school. That was my lunch money because I wouldn't get free lunch. So I'm like, yo, I'm a starve. Or I would be like, yo, let me get some food. Like I'll get Miguel one of them. Yo, show, give me $1, bro.
Cartons,
I'm like, got you tomorrow. But legit, I'll take those $2-3 and try to flip that.
That's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't go more than a half hour without a meal now if I'm working out. And like before, when you're a kid, dude, it's just nonstop. Nonstop.
Oh my God, I remember those days. I just remember playing ball, bro. The amount of vitamin D that I was consuming. just
outside
under the sun, just balling.
All fucking day. It sucks, man, because going through J Hood Park.
Yeah.
I remember summers, you literally had to wait your turn.
Yeah.
To either play basketball or use the baseball field, the handball courts, or anything.
Yeah.
Now that it's desolate in summer. Bro. There's nobody out there.
That's scary, son.
So everybody's fat.
Yeah, bro.
It's fucking awful.
Nah, I'm planning to see it early. I don't play that with Abby. Like my one of the partners, Jay, he said like cause I was like, yo, bro, how do you balance like tablet time or like TV time with like going outside? He's like, yo, I don't have a science to it. But he's like, my indicator to know if I'm like overdoing it, he's like, I should always be able to ask like his son Anthony, like, you want to go catch outside? And like he should be excited every time I ask him. He's like, as soon as he's not excited, like I that's it. I overdid it on like the tablet side to the point where he's no longer. So he's like, every time I ask him, he's excited. So, like it's more me.
He wants to do something.
He wants to go outside and run. He's like, as long as you got that still, then that's good. I was like, I'll stick to that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's true because it's like it just sucks, man. Like physical activity, and it helps people's confidence too. Like it's socializing, especially for like boys.
Yeah, bro.
Like I mean, yeah, girls too, but like boys, that's kind of like where you like really test like
our testosterone's raging,
yeah,
bro.
Dude.
Yeah,
but like they're taking that away from these kids because a lot of the times it's like if you don't have that in school or like the physical activities and sure, yes, there's like people talk about like the bullying, but that's also part of it all.
Yeah, and like I don't. That's what we do, bro. Like. It's not okay, but that also is just like adults bully each other nonstop, nonstop. Yeah. So to say like,
this is a different way.
This is exactly it's gonna happen. Like all these sports and going outside, it gives you the tools to know how to manage it because you've been dealing with it since you were a kid. Yeah. You know, like of course there's always like the outliers and the extreme situations for sure in anything we say, but overall, like like it's gonna happen. You know.
It's really funny because I was just talking to somebody, and they were talking about how before too, a lot of people were a lot more comfortable having other adults correct their kids. Where now it's like this thing where like they're like, no, like it's my baby, my king or queen, he's the best, and I see it often. Like I'm still pretty young. I'm only 32, but I see it in a lot of the generations where like a lot of them do have that king or queen energy or confidence about them. It's like, but you don't have any fucking social skills. They suck at everything, but they still carry themselves like, yeah, I'm the shit. It's like, no, nope, you're not. And then that's why these people then later on are fucking antidepressants.
100%.
Because they realize way too late that they suck.
And it's not about them.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can love your kid, and like, I could be seen as like more like disciplinary parent or over like or aggressive. I don't see that, and I don't care. But it's that like that's one of my biggest fears. I'll show Abby tons of love. I feel like in my way and whatever. But like if she says like and I'm quick. Like if she's like I'm better than Mason Jiu-Jitsu, for example, I'll be like, Abby, you're not. It's very important that you know.
So funny that you even say that.
I don't play that, bro. Because of that, because I'm just scared. I'm like, you're not. You know why? Because Mason goes 6 days a week. I mean, basically every day because she's only 4. So I'll be like, he goes every single day to try to get better and better. Do you go to jiu-jitsu? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay. If Mason wants, when he's playing with you, he can choke you out. You're going to tap immediately. It's important that you know this.
Yeah.
You know? And like, it's more for me than her. But it's as a reminder for myself, like, nah, Ronnie. When she does something really good, like she rhymed cat and she's been trying to rhyme all week. Mm-hmm. She was fucking close. I was hyped. She said zombie and lobby. And I almost wanted to give it to her. Because I'm like, yo, it's two syllable words. So I'm like, damn, I want to give it to her. I'm like, Abby, that was great try. Because those are big words. I was like, nah, but you don't got it. Then we go into the car. That's like a couple minutes later. You see her like quiet because she normally talks. I'm like, she's like, what about Cat and Matt? And I'm like, there it is. So I also overcompensate when she does something right to balance out that I'm quick to shit on her if she does something wrong. Because I'm scared of that.
And it's also cool too. I was thinking about like, I think it's a lot better also when you give them credit for like, oh, you've worked hard.
Earned that.
Or like you've earned it. Yeah. Like, oh, good for you. Like, look at you. You tried and like look at all this and here you got this is your result, because I feel like then you're teaching them more about like getting comfortable with that the working process more than
the end product
because the end product is never going to be exactly what you want anyway. A lot of times. And then that's a problem with like a lot of again the participation trophies because that's literally an end product for mediocre work or like. Not mediocre work. I don't want to say that. But like, let's say like the end product is that you didn't win. Yeah. Right? You lost and this just stank, but then you're trying to take the sting away. But like the sting is usually...
It's okay.
Yeah. Like that's where you learn. That's where like, okay, cool. Now I want to win. What do I have to do to get the trophy?
Yeah, bro. You need that. And like, I think it's just a conversation. Be like, hey, do you want to continue to try to get better? Do you not want to do this? I don't want to do this. Okay. Like, then let's figure out something else that you can do, but still implement those details. You know, as long as they gave it a fair amount of effort. Like, but if they're just getting a trophy for fucking lackluster effort,
for showing up.
No. Like I'm not that guy. And by the way, the parenting thing, I feel very strongly about that. All my friends with kids, I correct them, and I'll have a conversation because I think the problem is too like. Me and you have very direct conversations, and I think if you're really friends, there should be
because they should have the best interest on your kids.
And I'm gonna be like this is you have certain principles like I know me and Hav talk about this all the time. He's like, oh Ronnie, Abby asked for something, and he's like he'll give it to her. I was like, don't give it to her. He'll ask me why because he's like if I'm gonna be around his kids and I'm gonna correct his kids, I need to know like what's happening right now for these kids. Mm-hmm. And that's all it is. It's that whole like, because Abby's not perfect. You know what I'm saying?
None
like,
of them are. Yeah.
You got to be okay. Yeah, you got to be okay with it.
You need to learn how to be around people.
If you don't let me correct your kids, don't bring your kids around me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Especially if they're, that's one thing that my sister's been very good to with my niece. Because my niece, she's a girl, but she's very bold.
Yeah.
Like the things that she says she's hilarious. She's
coming to happy birthday, right?
Yeah, she's
okay,
coming.
cool. Sorry, go ahead.
She's the sweetest and stuff, but she's very like now I want to give to me. So, and you could tell sometimes like whenever she's with certain parts of the family that like they let her get away with certain things. Yeah, and then she comes back and she's like a little more like I'm it. Like I get away with everything. Yeah. So the other day, it was the first time that I actually gave her like a first little, slap kind of thing on her hand. I have my phone on me and I'm like, oh look, and she goes and just snatches it from me and I'm like, give me the phone back. Yeah. Don't do that. That's rude. Like you don't snatch things from people. Blah blah blah. Don't do it again. She did it again and I kind of like gave her like a whole little like pop on her hand and right away she's kind of like goes like, oh,
that's right.
And then she kind of puts her head down and I kind of just let her be.
Yeah.
And I turned the phone off. It was just kind of like, that's it. You don't get to see what I was showing you, right? A couple minutes go by and I come here. Like, all right, you know why I did that? It's because you don't do it. I told you before not to do it. That is rude. If you keep doing that to people, people are not going to want to be your friends because, they're going to feel like you're imposing your will on, like just talk basically like these are the consequences to what you do. But if you let them do that, let's say, she's not my kid. But if I let her do that, now she thinks that every time mom is not around, I could get.
It's a free for all. Yeah, no. Yeah. Like mom trusted you, right? Like to take care of her kid, and like if she has a problem with it, then again, like sister, brother, whoever, like then you shouldn't. Like I'm not gonna allow that here,
right?
And like I said, it's just a conversation. It's like okay, fair. Like just bring her when you're around. If you like, and you handle it. If not, don't leave her with me. And
also, you should feel comfortable when people judge your kid too, because if not, that's all that they're going like. Put it like this: if you have if you have a kid that's crappy, like or behaves sadly, they're only gonna know faces that are either judging them or lying to them, and that's all they're gonna know. And then they're not gonna as an adult, you just a sucker now. Yeah, that's what you want. Because that's all you all you recognize is people that are looking at you like, ugh, or people that are just kind of like. Just you're fine. Yeah, she's fine. So once people do give you that straight, they're not gonna know what to do. Yeah, bro. Or they're just not gonna react well to it. Oh, that scares me. Yeah, that's one of my things, bro. Like, cause for Raiden right now, he's hitting people. I'm like, damn, son. Oh, he is. He's hitting like the teacher. No. Is like, hey, like. Rain is great. And I'm like, sandwich effect. You're going to hit me with something good. And I was like, all right, like, what's going on? Yeah. He hit everybody today. And I'm like, damn. And then funny enough, bro, the next day, we can kind of like go in and see the camera to see what the kids are doing. And I'm driving, Amara's looking and she's like, oh no. And I'm like, what? He's like, I know exactly. Like, he's getting up. He sees a kid getting fed. He's not getting the attention. So she's like, oh, no, he's going to hit her. Boom, boom. Bah! What? Yeah. So it's like, oh, shit. So it's like, you can't take, it's not personal. I get it. Like I got kids. My initial reaction is, like, don't talk about fucking kids. Or even, like, if I see, like, you or how, I'm like, don't fucking talk about it's just natural. It's fine. But, like I said, you try to respond stoically. You're like, Ronnie, relax. Like, that's just your fucking, the sky is falling. Right. Sit back. They love your kid. Like, they trying to look out for you. Like, that's one less thing that I have to go to the kid. And maybe hearing it from you guys might even be better today because she's tired of hearing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just see it through that light because, again, surround yourself with people that you love, that you care about, that you trust. And it kind of solves itself as long as you guys communicate. Yeah. And I think also your kid should be able to respect all of the adults. That's like, I'm big, for example, like with, again, my niece is the only one I have, but like, it's like, yes, sir, no, ma'am. Like, that's how you speak to adults kind of thing. There should be some type of respect. Where, like, a lot of kids, sometimes it's only, like, dad or mom that they respect, and everybody else is just kind of like an afterthought. Yeah. So that's why when they go out, they usually, like, act crazy because to them, other adults, like, oh, you don't impose anything on them. Yeah, and even scarier, too, by the way. Like, there's another side to that. Like, me and Amaris were talking about, like, those same kids, sometimes it gets scary because –
like for example, if let's say Abby, there's no like titles, no nothing, right? Everyone's like, be nice to everybody and whatever. Like strangers now, Abby is seeing everyone as an equal. There's no titles, no nothing, no like respect. Like, so now that scares me too, because like, let's say, I don't know, somebody brings their boyfriend over to the house. Abby's going to go ahead and sit on their lap because they're just people.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But now it's like, no, she's like, that's Theo, that's Thea, that's Nino, that's dad, that's mom. Who's that?
Right.
And I want her to be like, I don't like that either. Like with parents, like, no, he's good. He can sit on his lap. Like, no. No. Her instincts are correct.
Right.
Don't go near that person.
Right. Yeah.
Like, don't push the person to go towards a stranger. No, she's doing the right thing. Taking a look, de lejito, you know, like, let me see how he moves, you know. Let me see if he's cool. Let me see
is he one of us?
Yeah. And it's like, I've seen him a couple of times.
They're fucking little savages. Like,
yeah, bro.
We all have the same. Even like when you meet someone at first, it's always like the same reaction. Oh, hello, obviously being
cordial, whatever.
But
yeah,
you're not just like, oh, this is
my best
brother now. Yeah.
And the people like that scare the fuck out of me. You know, like I think we met like in 2008, 2009.
Yeah,
we weren't like kids. Didn't become like solid friends till like 2-3 years ago, maybe. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. and the thing is, because we were like, and we met, but we were met in passing.
Yeah,
like, you know, we didn't really hang out until when we started the football stuff. When we started
that's right.
That's
the
when
bar.
we really started getting kicked.
Good times, man.
Yeah,
that's
but like same thing with like even Jason. Like, I known Jason, my best friend, since fucking I was like 8.
God damn.
But I really didn't get cool with him until high school.
Yeah.
So like all that time passed of just passing by each other, like, hey, what's up? And then like kind of like crossing paths, and then like more and more we got cool. Like, okay, we got a lot of things to come up. But that's usually too, I think that's how you get those long lasting relationships too, the ones that like take time.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed it the other day. I was thinking about that. Most of my friendships, I have now known them longer than I haven't.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great, bro. Because again, you can be like the goal is to be yourself as much as possible. You're never going to be your complete self. Like our partners don't know the real Ronier Morgan
right.
to the full extent.
Right.
But it is nice to get as close as possible to that.
Right.
Like I don't want to I don't want to fucking filter anything I do or say. Like me. Like the more we get closer, I'm like Ronnie's fucking
right.
Stupid.
Dude, like, that's crazy when you think even like those people that like, oh, you don't say this around certain people. It's just like that has to suck to have friends that you like gotta watch her mouth around them. No. It's just like, dude, I'd rather not be around.
I'd rather not be friends.
Yeah,
I'd rather have like 3 houses that I go to.
Yeah.
Like, and that's it. But I can be myself.
Right.
And I can ask anything I want. And I can be just word vomit. You're not going to take what I say. Like, I word vomit all the time. Like, if you ask me something, I'm going to say the first thing that goes in my head. Just spit it out. Yeah. And then reverse engineer. Like, is that true?
On. Yeah.
If you're judging me off the first thing I say, like, I'm asked out.
And not only that, I feel like that's kind of like, that's the easiest way to get to like a consensus about something too, is genuine conversation. Because like if everything always stays in your head, it never gets tested.
No.
So like sometimes you could talk to yourself about something and you think you have it right because you thought it out so much, but until you splurge out some shit and somebody was like, well, how about this? Yeah. Then that hasn't been tested. So you thought you were right about something, but probably not.
Hey, bro. Yeah. Funny story. These last 2 weeks, me and Ryan, one of the partners, we've been we were like raising money. So I had to do like my first like presentation. I normally don't do. Normally I raise money from like friends and family. It's easy. Like, yo, trust me, I got you. Look at these are the numbers. Like, you know what I do. And it's like, yeah, cool, no problem. Everyone gets paid. For the first time, we were doing like a more like general public, and like, it's enough. We're raising a good amount of money, so we have to do like a presentation. And talking about that, me and Ryan, we did like the last week. That's all I worked on. We must have put in like 50 hours of just like presentation, adjusting. Does this make sense? Remove it. Add another slide. Now put this Excel sheet. Do this nonstop. And I'm like, all right, now let's record it and do a replay and send this out. And I get feedback, and I'm thinking like, yo, we winning. I know it's like in the back of my head.
Yeah.
And we got shitted on. Like we raised half the money, but it was more based on like, you know, like talent beats, what is it? Like work
hard work
like,
beats talent. Yeah.
It was more that half the money was talent. It wasn't like working hard. We just thought we were working hard. But there's nothing, like you said, like thinking, you know, imagine like we went all the way and we're like, nah, we didn't take any feedback. Bro, we finally go to another guy who raises tons of money and he just shitted on us. He was laughing at us.
No.
He's like, I use like some adjectives, like some elementary school adjectives. And I'll put it on ChatGPT and I was like, spruce this up for me. And it spruced it up. But it was like, take a look at this spectacular thing. Like, it's like so fake. And he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yo, thank God, bro. Thank God before I kept this going, someone was able to like, you know, and
straight,
and luckily, like at first, naturally, it's normal. People think it's not normal. Like if I be like, yo, Morgan, you ain't shit or whatever. Like what comes out might be confidence, but it's normal for the initial reaction is like, yo, that's it. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, ouch.
I ain't shit. That's it. It's okay. Like, and that's what I'm like, damn, bro. So I ain't shit. Like I can't and like just to go deep, like even when I was like in high school, I remember I like one of the reasons why I didn't go hard was because I was scared of going hard and then getting brutal feedback back, right? And then it's like, yo, I went hard and I didn't get, and I still did a bad job. That technically means that I ain't shit, right? Like that's like the high school
like
run.
Even at my hardest, I'm still garbage. Yeah,
that's brutal.
That's a hard realization.
But that's most people. But then, like, hopefully, like, that's what happened to me. I'm like, little by little, you start growing confidence. Like, oh, like, nah, like, I got feedback. Off the feedback, I get better. And then I try again.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's what we were talking about, the process of getting to that point. Because the thing, I mean, if you go into anything thinking that you're going to get it right the first time, like, good fucking luck.
Yes, son, especially now.
Good luck, man.
But it goes with what you say, though. Like, it starts when we were kids. Like, someone has to be like, yo, like this is supposed to suck. Like I feel like you don't get like my dad luckily was pretty hardcore, so he reminded us all the time. So that was for me, thank God, because like maybe it wasn't helpful before, but like now, even like I remember when he was like, my dad, I'd be like, Dad, can I get $10? He'll be like, let me tell you why you can't get $10. And he would like not brutally, but he would put the numbers. Like this is how much rent is, this is how much I get paid. This is how much money I got for the week. If I give you these $10 from McDonald's, then that's 10. Like I can't buy the bread for all of us to eat breakfast. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, but that helps you because then it's like, oh shit, like it's right there for you. You know, so you don't live in la la land.
Yeah.
Like,
same thing I used to do with my sister. When she was playing softball, when she was going out, she was getting good and she was getting good quick, and she would go 4 for 4 basically every game. And at one point, she's like, yo, I'm good, right? I'm good. I'm like, yeah, you're good. But, like, you're good here.
yeah.
Like, right now, under this competition. Like, if you're going to grow, you're going to have to improve. And you have to improve a lot. Like, you're just starting this. But, you know, you're getting there. You're getting there. And that's what I always, like, you're getting there. You're getting better. Yeah, you're good. But, like, you know, there's a lot of work to be done. And, like, there's going to meet a lot of girls that are as good or better than you. Same thing comes to college. That's exactly what happened. She was just like, oh shit, I gotta turn it up. But the thing is, like, it was different because she never had faced that level of competition. So I guess she never even experienced what that looked like.
You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, she was able to, like, rise to the occasion. But if I would have been like, oh yeah, like, yo, you the shit, you good, she probably would have stayed stagnant there. Or maybe she would have found another way to, like, keep improving, of course, because the more you practice, the better you get.
Yeah.
But she didn't really fall into, like, I think, being a good softball player until she had a bad season and then was able to, like, turn it around.
Good. Yeah. And it's like, what do you do with adversity? Like at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And she did pretty good, man. She did right.
And like, and that's another thing too. Like, I learned no one cares about like for example, no one has ever asked me for my degree ever. And I'm like, oh, so no one cares about my grades either. So that's the other thing too. You start learning, like, no one, like, you count your home runs, like home run in life. Like, I feel like the home runs are counted. Only you keep track of the strikeouts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Only you. Like
That's
no
so
one
true.
else knows how many strikeouts you have.
Yeah.
But if you're hitting bombs, everyone's like, yo, Morgan got 40
He
home
got
runs.
balls. Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Adam Dunn. Why do I
Yeah,
know who Adam
Dunn.
Dunn is?
Yeah, exactly.
Out of all the
And he
names,
used to say it every year.
I know who Adam Dunn is.
Yep.
Because even though he had a 150 average, my man would hit 40 home runs every year.
What is it? Didn't Reggie Jackson lead the league in strikeouts?
3 straight seasons.
Yeah.
But my man was hitting
Jax,
31,
Mr.
32,
October.
and 100 RBIs.
Ryan
and
Howard.
Yeah. Ryan Howard's another one.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Most like everyone knows the home runs. No one cares about the strikeouts.
But and that again, but that goes to, you know, how many swings does it take to hit the home run?
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting
keep-
better
keep
and
looking,
better,
keep
just
looking,
keep
keep looking,
hammering,
yeah.
right? Like Cam Haines, like just keep going because only you care, and like that means you get to appreciate everything like no one else would because you remember.
That's why doing difficult things is so fucking.
Oh yeah,
It's so fucking important, man.
yeah, bro.
It's really important. Yo, so I was talking to one of my buddies from battalion the other day, my boy Bath, and he sent me this thing. I don't know if you saw that. Like now, like there's grown men that are paying to be put through this boot camp type thing by this dude.
By who?
I saw some fucking bozo. I don't know.
Is it by Andrew Tate?
No.
Okay.
No. But there's like, it's funny because apparently it's really expensive. And
Yeah.
it's like this guy, whoever he is, grabs these dudes that pay him, puts him in a white shirt and black shorts.
Okay.
And then he just screams at him for like a week and has them do push-ups, wets them. They have to sleep in a CrossFit gym with the lights on. And it's really it's basically like a little stupid boot camp.
Yeah.
His whole thing is just like, oh, we're building men here and
Get
how to like
hard.
grow there and this other shit. And it was just kind of like, I was thinking that, I was just kind of, that is so fucking sad.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I don't want to discredit anybody. Good for him. He found a business. that
Why is it
works for him.
sad though?
It's sad because whoever those people are, the whole we're building men thing,
Yeah.
none of the dudes that I saw there were young. It
Yeah.
was mostly guys in their 30s and
Yeah.
over. And obviously that comes from a place of zero confidence, probably, right? They're probably in a space where they're just kind of like, fuck, I've never tested myself.
Yeah.
I lack confidence. I lack discipline, order, and I have to find something to instill this in me. And the only way to do it is to pay somebody
To make me
to
tough.
to make me tough. But then the thing is also like, then that's also like an illusion because like this is not, in a sense, when it's in a week or even 2 weeks. Let's say if it's a 3 weeks program, like you're kind of under this false sense that, okay, after these 3 weeks, I'm gonna be this person. And it's just that that's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. Like all you did was just like you paid a bunch of money for this dude to scream at you and sleep in a gym. And you got the illusion of now being a better person. But in reality, you probably didn't even build the tools. And you got to understand, too, like, now that you think you're this, like, it's going to be every day. Like, the rent is going to be due every
Every
single
day, bro.
Like, it's not, these 3 weeks are not going to do anything for you.
It's a choice. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. I think I told you about the Infinite Game. I don't know if you ever read it. The best example, I read that book every year. So it's the idea that, like, choose to do things that are forever. Anything finite, it just comes to a bitter end. Like, and it sucks. For example, like the good example is Apple versus Microsoft. So you remember this. Remember the Zoom, right? The Zoom had more gigs. You can drag more different music because you can download it like illegally and like drag it onto the Zoom, right? So clearly you're like, yo, this is the one I gotta get.
Yeah.
iPod was super anal and whatever. And then the author of the book, Simon Sinek, I think it was, he talks about how like he went to both of the, I'm butchering the story. He went to both of their quarterly presentations. And he's like, it's so crazy how like Apple, their whole thing was like, how do we make the iPod better? That's it, right? You can always make the iPod better. The Infinite Game. The whole conference for the Zoom was like, how are we going to be Apple? And it's that idea. You're playing the finite game. How do I get hard in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
You don't.
Same thing with diets.
Please,
That's like
yeah.
it's the word diet in itself always has a time limit to it.
Yes.
That's what I always tell people that I train. It's just kind of like, also like, what kind of diet should I be on? Like, you shouldn't be on a diet. You should just be eating healthier. Like that time, giving yourself time limits to do things, you're always gonna get there, and it's usually gonna come. You're gonna end up right back to where you were.
That's the finite game.
Yeah, the finite game.
Yeah, bro. That's what that is. And you see it everywhere. Like the diet thing too. Like I had to figure that out too. I was like, I'm not doing a fucking keto diet. I'm not doing a whatever diet. I'm like, Ronnie, let's just stop eating shit.
Yeah.
Let's just stop eating shit.
Yeah. Honestly, it's people think like, oh, what kind of diet are you in when they ask me? It's just kind of like, I just don't eat garbage. Like I'm not in this crazy, like I'm not in a carnivore diet. I'm not a vegan. I'm not this. I just eat healthy. Like I don't fry food. I keep my sugar short. Like I don't really like sugar, honestly. When it comes to how much I eat in a day, I try to eat as much as my body needs. Like if I burn 4,000 calories, I try to surplus 4,000 calories. If I only do 2,000, I only do 2,000.
That's it.
It's that simple. Calories in, calories out.
That's it.
And I've never had a problem.
And there's for sure. We can, like I said, there's fucking tons of ways to, outliers, all that, whatever. But in general, just like stuff, like one thing that is helping me the most is that like I try to eat like whole foods. It's crazy how simple life can be. Like I just be like, yo, if that motherfucker has tons of ingredients, I just don't need it.
Right.
That's it.
It's that simple.
Like
it's not. It doesn't take a lot,
bro. It's so easy. And now, like I know now because I go with that principle now that like I can play the game now. Like I want something sweet. I don't care if I eat 5 bananas. For example,
same.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm. And when I'm craving something, I don't feel bad for eating it either.
That's it. But every day, I like once again, every day I put in work. That's another thing, right? Because I'm playing the infinite game. I'm like, how do I do this forever? That's it. And once like as anything I do now, like jujitsu, I told the coach, he's like, oh, how long are you thinking about doing? And I was like, it took me like a year to decide to do this. Because as long as it's along the guidelines that I think of what this is going to be for me, I'm like, I'm not stopping. Just so you know, like I'm going to do this. Like I'm going to do some kind of like combative like problem. Like I said, what we said, instant feedback, problem solving indefinitely.
You need to.
That's it.
It's good.
Yeah, and like once you make that decision, then it's like I'm not going to like a 3-month camp to get ready for a competition, and then I'm done.
And exactly.
No. You just keep it going. Oh fuck it, you know what? My knee's feeling strong. Let me join the competition.
I'll do this other thing.
But you just keep doing it.
Moving. It's always moving. Same thing like with me with for example, like now training for this like the Ironman.
Yes.
Like that's a year away for me. Because, I mean, I'm pretty good on my feet when it comes to, like, running and stuff like that. Like, I hate running. I've never liked running. I don't think I'll ever will like running. But I've ran 3 marathons, a 50-miler. Like, I've done a lot. I put a lot of miles on my feet. But I don't do it because I like it. I do it because I want to test myself. And, you know, it's tough. Doing something that you don't like sometimes is healthy, too. You know, being able to just power through and stuff. That being said, going into the marathons, I started like kind of like losing respect for them because I was getting off the couch and doing them. So then I did when I did the Blue Ridge Marathon, it was pretty tough.
That's the one you did with your guys in Virginia?
Virginia, yeah. That one was pretty tough.
Well, that was badass. The weather. Talk about that one. That one was badass.
Yeah, so the weather was awful. Yeah. Which was actually the best part because I was actually very excited for the shitty weather.
Sorry, preface with the course first. Before the weather.
So the course is regular marathon, 26.2 miles, and there's an 8,000 feet inclination gain. It's in the mountains. Some of the areas you can't. There's just no running up it. Yeah. You have to basically walk it up. Going into it, I didn't really train. I think I've trained for like a month for it. And same thing with my boys. They're 2 grunts. Same thing. One of them was a Ranger battalion with me. The other one was a Marine. Same thing. Because, you know, we're busy. Yeah. We're working, whatever. So we get there and we realize that it's going to be rain. So we're like, okay, cool. Let's hope the temperature drops. Because usually runners need perfect weather. Yeah. You know, a lot of them always like, oh, it's perfect running weather. We're just kind of like, all right, cool, whatever. Not only is the temperature drop, the rain turned into a storm.
When we say drop, what are we talking? Ballpark?
I think it was about 45, 50 degrees in the mountains.
Yeah.
Windy as
I
hell.
was gonna say, yeah, the winds.
Windy as hell. Thunderstorm. It was raining so much that you generally couldn't see more than like 15 feet in front of you. So they had to shut down the course, which kind of, in a sense, that's where we were like, fuck, it kind of came to bit us in the ass. Because at first we were excited for that because it was like, yes, now the ground is
I would say level playing field
even
now.
playing field. Now you guys that are better runners than us, right? You're better runners than us. You've been training for this for however, in the gym or in the perfect
With your
weather,
Hoka
with
sneakers.
exactly, and all this shit. Now come to the shit.
Yeah.
Come to the shit and do this. We didn't train, but we know how to be in the fucking storms, right? They shut the course down, which was shitty because then we're like, fuck, now we paid all this money. We traveled to get here. And we're running. Everybody's like under their tent and stuff. And they tell us like, all right, just this tent is full. If you want to keep running down to the next one, there's going to be buses there waiting for you. And we're just kind of like jogging down. And we started thinking like, yo, are we really going to just get on this bus? Like, that's it? And, you know, because there was a lot of money that went into this. My buddy's like, bro, I don't want to leave. Like, fuck it, we're here, man. And my buddy Bath, he's upset because he's the best runner out of us. So we knew he was going to probably do the best out of all of us. Yeah. So he's kind of already like, yo, my time's all fucked up. Like, fuck this shit. Like, kind of like very upset. But then he kind of like, fuck, I don't want to leave either, though.
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. My boy looks at me. He's like, if I start running, are we going? I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Like, and we're like, we don't need medals. Yeah. Like, we still did it. We know the course, right? Yeah. Like, you just follow because it was like tape.
I was gonna say there's probably like guides.
There's tapes and stuff
checkpoints
like
and shit.
Not even because they removed all the the hydration stations, all the EA stations.
Yeah, but they don't have like little signs or something this way.
They had tape on the floor.
Oh, okay.
So every turn, so we were like, fucking just follow the tape, right? This is mile 8, I think, or 10, maybe 10 into the course. So we have most of the marathon left, and we were like, yo, medal or not, fuck it, let's go. And then we keep running, and then we see some people, and like we see some runners kind of like come to us, and you guys gonna keep running? Like, yeah,
damn right.
And they're like and then you start seeing guys that like are kind of like trailing off, like seeing like the group starts getting a little bigger, and then some guys kind of fall off the group. They're like, nah, fuck this, it's too crazy. But then you start seeing people that are kind of like running off, and they're like,
nah,
and they come back in. Ended up being,
that'll be me. I'm like, nah, I'm out, and then I'm like, nah, bitch, bro.
Bitch, right? So we ended up running the last,
that's fire,
like 16 miles or so in the storm.
That's fire.
With no aid station, no water, no nothing. Well, at least that's what we thought. People got wind of it, I guess, that people were still running the marathon. So a lot of people came out of their houses and put like water bottles outside of their houses. So we had that. And at the end of the day, too, some volunteers stayed back and gave us our medals.
That's cool.
Our time didn't count for anything, but we still got our medals, which honestly we didn't care for it at that point, but it was still nice to have it. And two, like the whole experience, it was so fucking cool.
You probably enjoyed that more than if you had your traditional, 100%, right?
100%. Yeah. Dude. At that point, the time that I'm not gonna lie, dude, by the end of it, I was fucking cramping from all ends.
But you ain't no bitch.
And it was such a good time, dude. Then doing that one and going through all that, then I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, I trained for this for a month, and it was pretty tough, but that was good. Like, by that time, I was okay.
How long did it take you to bounce back? Like, I'm assuming your fucking feet were cooked.
So I actually also ran in the wrong shoes because I bought the shoes a half size too small. Oh, so running downhill,
your feet are just hitting.
Kept slamming up to the front of the shoe.
Yeah.
So my big toe.
Oh, you sent me a picture or something, right? Yeah.
The nail didn't fall off. But there was so much blood under it that it looked like a fucking lollipop, dude. That's fucking gross. So I had to pop it and take the nail out and all that. So
oh my god, we had cryotherapy. You couldn't make it.
Yes.
You couldn't get out of
because I couldn't get out of because my toes were. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that, honestly, my legs were good. Probably by day 2. The 50 miler, my knees. It took me probably like a good 5-6 days to feel normal.
Yeah, that was the
I did the 50-mile loop in Boston.
Got you. Did he? Oh, that was the one that you were kind of helping him through the journey, right? Like weight loss and all that. So you wanted like to not shadow him. What am I talking about? Spot him.
Pace him.
Pace him. That's the word. Yeah.
Then when I did the marathon, the New York City marathon.
That's what I was thinking about.
The NYC.
New York City.
No,
Yeah.
Because me and Bath paced together at the same time too. But I did the New York City one. Didn't train for it at all.
Yeah.
Like genuinely at all. I think I ran maybe like 8 miles prior to the marathon.
Yeah.
And I finished and I was like, okay.
Yeah. But that one was fire though, you said, right? Like
it was
like
so
people
much,
showing love
like
the whole way.
Yeah, that was
cool.
For sure the funnest one I've ever done.
Yeah.
But after like the next day I was on a bike.
Yeah.
Like,
what we
13
doing?
miles the next day I was fine. So then the thing, exactly. So I was just kind of like, after that marathon, I was just kind of, because I don't like running. But after the marathon, I was like, I don't know, like that one didn't that was fun, but it didn't give me that, like, yo, you did that, right, kind of thing. And I'm a decent swimmer. At least I thought I was, until I started, okay, I want to do a triathlon.
Yeah.
Then I started looking at the Ironman, and I was like, fuck, maybe I should do an Ironman. But then it just kind of like left the table really quick. And then when I went back to it, I was like, why do I keep saying like, oh, I would like to do a marathon, triathlon?
Yeah.
And then it always kind of like fades out. And then it kind of did. I was like, fuck. And I started really looking at it like, why I usually just jump in and sign up, right?
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, it's daunting. Like, it's like a little, like,
There it is, though.
Oh, shit. Yeah, exactly. Like, I was just like, oh, because now I can't just grunt through this. Now it's going to take work because I actually have to learn how to swim properly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then 2025, I was like, fuck it. 2024, I'm signing up, figure it out on the way there.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
For the record. Like, you're figuring it out. Like, you know, like we always talk, like swimming. I did like high school swimming.
Right.
So I don't do it anymore.
And you guys have helped me out a lot, dude. Just to like the video stuff. Cause, one of the guys that works in the fitness unit with me, he used to swim for Lehman College.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Medina. So I just, again,
send
sending
the
videos,
like, I see
figuring
this.
things out. I mean, like I said, like being an athlete helps because I catch on to things decently well.
Well, you have control of your body, I think, is the thing. Like, when people, if you have a foundation, like, you can, you like jiu-jitsu and boxing, who knew that there was so many similarities, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, oh shit, it's like a lot of it is like, right, the hips, shoulders, alignment, like angles, right? Like, unless you're like a Mexican boxer, it's not a good idea to box like this. Like, you should be giving angles. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. Like, there's strong people straight up, but if you get like on an angle, that's it. It's over. Like, they can't stay stiff. Like, this is done. Same thing. Like, if you have control of your body, it's just,
It was humbling though getting in the pool the first time.
Oh, for
sure, dude. Because like I said, like I've learned how to. I'm a survival swimmer.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Like the swimming that I know how to do. Like, I know I can swim a mile.
Yeah,
but it's that like tread water, kind of like my feet are under me,
breaststroke almost. Like, it's like
taking. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, you'll get there.
And I learned how to do it in like boots and gear and all this shit. But when I got in the pool, I was like, okay, I could do that. I'm fucking a couple 100 meters. Like, how can it be? So then I tried the actual freestyle, come back, and I'm like,
new muscles, new ticks.
God, I'm not good at this. I am not good at this.
It's rough. And then like the other thing, like you said in that video that we watched that I didn't even count for, is just even adjusting to the fact that you're gonna have to like come all the way over, because you have to account for like even little bit of waves. Like, if you don't go enough, you're not gonna move. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
The good thing is, adrenaline wise, it's gonna kick in.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. And I've been watching like all these documentaries. And, dude, bro. So I saw this documentary. It's called The Iceman or The Iceman Challenge. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Some dude did an Ironman in the Arctic North.
God damn.
He's the only one to.
He's swimming?
Yep. And on the bike. So there was so much snow that all they had to do was basically clear a path out for him. And he basically had to just go back and forth.
Because, you can't
within that path to hit the miles.
Son.
It took him, I think it was like 72 hours or some shit like that. 3 days.
Yo, he's wildin'.
And it's on YouTube. It's such a good documentary though, because it's really about this dude who was like, he was a decent soccer player.
Yeah.
He wanted to go professional, never did. Kind of became like your average Joe, and then again that whole thing clicked of like, fuck, like I haven't done anything, like I don't feel extraordinary, like I didn't feel good about myself or whatever. And he just got this thing in his head that he wanted to complete an Ironman in the worst situation possible. And he fucked, dude, it is insane. Yeah, it was at one point they had to stop for the run because
got too crazy.
They couldn't see of how much snow was going on. So they had to like get this camping or whatever, like they get like their tent and shit. Yeah. They had to dig him out of his tent because so much snow.
My God.
Yeah. It's such a fucking...
The Iceman?
It is the Iceman.
Yeah,
It's fucking good, dude.
Oh my God. I do know what I imagine. You know that game in the Olympics that the people have like the little... That's
bro,
all I imagine. Like he's running and there's people behind him.
Yeah. Bro, it's insane. And then, for example, for the beginning, the way he started was just cold plunges. Just because he needed to get used to just being in the cold. Because imagine, even with the sweatsuits, like the temperature still goes through and stuff. But
like you said, like when I jumped in, like you're gonna lose your breath right away. Like right, I'm assuming you have to. Does that still happen to you?
No,
at all.
I'm pretty good now.
So like you go in like, and I'm talking immediately. You're kind of like you're breathing.
Because the thing is, like once I'm that thing that I do, like in and then
the box breathing.
No. As I'm going in, I'm letting out all my breath, and once I get in, that instinct of like air 100%,
yeah.
I just try to like keep blowing through it,
yeah.
And once I take that breath back in,
there's no
It might like jump a little bit, but it kind of just
nice,
yeah. It's not easy though.
No.
Yeah, it's so funny watching everybody's reaction.
Yeah. And you're telling me, and I was like, okay, I just gotta control my breathing. Hear what he told me. Psych.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's like, oh, why am I jumping? I'm like, I don't want to. Like, yes.
That's literally your body telling you, like
you're gonna
get out or you're gonna die.
Yeah.
But that stuff really it has helped a lot. You know what's the reason why I started doing that whole fucking Wim Hof shit?
No.
I know I told you because. So I went through RASP, which was like the selection process for Rangers in the
That's like an acronym?
winter. RASP, yeah.
What's it?
What the fuck? It's like Ranger Assessment Selection Process.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I went through it in the dead of winter. It was a horrible winter. It was fucking cold. So we were freezing the whole time. And went straight into like one of the deployments, and it was cold as shit over there too. So like I had like this really shitty relationship with the cold for like a long time, where after a while, anytime I got cold, I would get really frustrated.
You didn't know right away, right?
No, it just kind of like, I just fucking hate the cold. That's what I used to tell myself. I just fucking hate the cold.
I don't got a reason.
Grew up in New York.
Yeah.
Like winters are always shitty.
Yeah.
But for some reason after that point, I fucking hate the cold. Time. I don't know what it is. I got a chill up my spine. I would be like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I'm done with this.
That's hilarious.
I hated the cold. Hated it.
And then I was push it down.
And I was just kind of like, oh, fuck, maybe it is that. So then my boy, Michael Cristofordo, who was the guy that started doing the Wim Hof stuff, and I took that as an opportunity. I was like, okay, maybe like self-exposure to this. Yeah. Because in my head, I was just kind of, it has to be that.
Yeah.
Like, these experiences are probably.
Yeah, you said it's not New York. It's not like you grew up in the Caribbean.
Exactly, right? So that's really why I started doing the ice bath, because I wanted to get over that whole, like, why am I so frustrated by the cold every single time?
How fast did you, how fast was the feedback after you? So you did the
It took a while.
To process it?
What do you mean?
Like the whole thing. So like from... I hate the cold to being like, wait a second. Like, is it because of this? How long was that ballpark? I'm just curious.
Like years.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then once you realize it, how fast were you like, I got to make a move? Or like, was your boy always doing it and now you're like,
no, by that time I already had known he was doing that.
Okay.
So I already kind of like, I was like, I think it's, at least I had, whether it's that or not, like in my head, I was, I can't keep having this like relationship with the cold when like half of the year
You're cold.
is cold.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just like, all right, so I got to do something.
Yeah.
And I ended up hitting him up. He did the seminar in Brooklyn, and I joined it. And
Boom.
there.
And then right there after you did it, you're like, oh shit, it was that?
No.
Oh damn. Damn. It's never right there.
No,
Of
it's never right.
course. Of course.
It took some. I actually stopped for a while.
Yeah.
At first, so I started doing it for a while, and I was like, okay, I'm getting better. Getting better with this.
Wait, how were you doing it? Like
So,
in your bathtub?
I'll do it in the bathtub.
Ah, okay.
I'll do it in the bathtub, and I'll go outside with.
Hold that thought. I gotta pee. We were talking about Wim Hof.
But yeah, so the Wim Hof shit.
Yes.
So I started doing it after that, right? Like, so I go to the seminar. I started doing it by myself at home. I go to, like, for example, one of the days I did one of the breathing exercises. It was kind of cool. I did one of the breathing exercises in the dog park with Thor. It was snowing. So I started doing this exercise or whatever, and I started actually feeling, like, my lower back and my, like, the back of my arms.
Yeah.
The back of my neck started getting actual, like, hot.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's fucking crazy. This thing is working. I get back home, and Daniela tells me that my arms are red, like, from the heat. And this is all from breathing, you know, the shit, and kind of, like, concentrating.
Yeah.
On it. And I was like, oh, that shit, this is awesome. It's working. But I fell off it, and then I tried, like, jumping back in. I kind of just fell off it completely again. So, especially, exactly, because, you know, like, everything is practice
of
and
course.
stuff. Then when I try to pick it back up, like,
Yeah.
just at a whim like that, I fill up the tub with ice. I get in, and I think I lasted like a minute. I was like, fuck, I'm right back at square one.
Yeah,
again.
back to square one. Once again, it's every day, bro.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a fucking
Back
grind.
to square one.
Bro, before I forget, damn, maybe you listen to the same podcast. Someone said in their podcast, one of the podcasts we listened to, that trauma, the way it's like the way trauma or whatever is like recorded in us, whenever we think about it again, basically our body pushed it away, and when it brings it back, it doesn't know that it's a memory.
Oh, so it reacts basically like if it's happening now.
Maybe like that's why your body's getting like, because it's literally thinks it's happening right now. It can't process what's a memory versus what's happening now.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, so if the memory comes into play, like this is happening, that they say like that's why your body responds that way, because it doesn't know, right? I was like,
that makes a lot of sense.
Hearing you say that, I'm like, yo, that makes sense. I gotta remember the podcast.
That makes a lot of sense because again, and now I'm a lot more comfortable in the cold, especially like being outside and working out with these guys and stuff like that. But it really was like something that like winter I basically was just indoors. I was like, I don't want to be outside. Like it's just fucking cold and I hated it. But like now with the ice baths and stuff like that and cold showers, like a little exposure here, continuing with the breathing exercise and stuff, I'm a lot more comfortable.
Nice.
But it took a while because like again, like let's say I did the seminar like one day. I probably kept with it for like about 3 weeks, fell off. And I was feeling, this was in winter too, so it was like the perfect time for me to like kind of
for sure
like, practice it, right?
Yeah.
I probably stayed with it for like 3 weeks to a month, fell off, and when I tried to come back in, I kind of just didn't have it in me.
Yeah.
And just kind of went right back to the same shit. But then now it's been a couple months of doing the same thing, and I fucking love it. I've been doing it now, some type of cold exposure not every day, at least 3 to 4 times a week. For about 4 or 5 months now.
That's not bad. Again, it's like that infinite game, right? Now you're like, it's not necessarily you probably don't have like necessarily a schedule.
No, right.
But it's like, it's just something, it's just part of you now. Like, oh shit, perfect. I can do it
right now. Yeah, exactly. So like I usually try to do it, especially because I have a lot of trouble sleeping. So I didn't know until recently. Again, Danny Massa, my boy.
Yeah.
He was telling me that you don't want to do it within 4 hours of going to sleep. Because
get out of here.
Yeah, because some people, it's that adrenaline rush and the endorphin rush.
Yeah,
that could keep them up.
And I
have trouble sleeping, and then I noticed that like whenever I did it late, I would be up late. Like I had a hard time sleeping, so I'm probably one of those people.
I thought because your body temperature technically dropped, it would be easier for you to go to sleep. But I'm not accounting for the endorphin.
Apparently it's backwards.
Oh, because your
So
body's working double time to heat it up.
So when you go to
Right?
sleep, you want to dump heat. So you can, if you want,
Yeah.
like if your body adjusts as well, you can do the ice baths and go to sleep. I'm not one of those people because I run hot as it is.
Got
Like
you.
I get hot at
Yeah.
night. So I benefit more from doing a really hot bath before going to sleep because your body's then naturally trying to cool down.
Off. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I want at night.
That makes sense. Yeah, because you're supposed to. I think it's like your body temperature should drop 2 degrees for you to be able to like to sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that makes sense. You put extra hot, now your body's I has to overcompensate and get cold, as opposed to super cold, and now your body like trying to heat you up. Now you're trying to go to sleep. It's like yeah, that makes sense.
It works, man. Hey, I know a lot of people are like, oh, like, you know, like, this is all bullshit. This is not. But at least by my experiences, I know that my soreness levels are basically gone.
Well, that's been proven for sure. Like that's been proven.
I feel a lot better. My recovery is a lot better. And just alone with that whole fucking thing with the VO2, like it's not like my watch knows.
Yeah.
And I've been wearing this thing for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And my VO max hasn't gotten up like that. Like ever.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't even have to be accurate like to the T.
Right.
But it doesn't matter.
Something happened.
Exactly. Like something changed. Like they only knows numbers. It just records. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
So even if it's off, the difference in the change is still accurate. Right? Like it could be like maybe your VO2 max is, I'm making up numbers, like 100, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if that's not true. As long as it went from 100 to 130 or 70,
there's still a number
change.
and a gap in there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking badass, bro.
The thing now that I want to do is get a sauna in the house.
I figured. I knew the moment that you said I had to last 40 minutes, I was like, oh, my boy's gonna get a sauna. Like that's the answer. We know that.
Yeah, that sauna blanket. It's cool, but at least it takes a while. Because the thing with the sauna blanket, it's so like I do an hour usually when I'm in it. In the first 20, 30 minutes, it's just your body in there like getting warm. Yeah. And the last like 20 minutes, I'm not gonna lie, the last 20 minutes is usually like fuck.
Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah.
But going from cold to hot, you need those 20 minutes to be fucking.
I get it.
Yeah. Pumped.
Yeah. I saw that happen. Like Hav, same thing. He was like, oh, should I get this? I'm like, Hav, just get the other.
Oh yeah.
Hav's doing it.
He got the hot tub, right?
He's doing both. That's awesome. He's still doing it. I'm like, yo, because sometimes like we try to get to the gym every day at 6, and now he be getting there like at 6:10, 6:15. Like, and he's like, my bad, bro. I'm running. Like, sometimes it's like, I can't, like, it's hard for me to move. Like, I just need to loosen up the cold. I was like, no, it's fine. It's great that you're doing it. Like, he's still sticking to it.
That's awesome.
But I get it. That's the only downside that I'm like, motherfucker. Like, I'm more, going back to the studio thing. Like I'm like, damn, I almost want to house hack a commercial space that I can almost make my own little thing, my own little pad. Cause I can't live in a house. I refuse. But I still want like a cave, but I can't just go ahead and buy a commercial space. Cause that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm like, I can't do that. So deep. I don't got it like that, but I could like hack it and just like get enough rent to pay to like break even and just have my own space.
Dude, even like something like, for example, because like my basement isn't finished.
Yeah.
Like that's probably going to be where I'm going to do. Like,
100%. That's what you have to do. Because you can almost you can literally build the sauna almost. Like you don't have to buy one almost if you don't want to. You can almost build like an infrastructure.
Right into the.
That's what I'm saying.
The difference is that like, I just don't have the height.
Yeah.
Because my basement is kind of short.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not going to be an activity place, but it's definitely somewhere you can definitely do like the cold plunge and
that's what I'm saying. That's all you need, and you got the French drain, so like you're not even worried about like for the ice thing, like, and it's nice and cold down there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but
I've been thinking
the sauna's gonna be needed.
Yeah.
I want my house to be a place like an oasis, dude, an oasis where I recover and shit. Yeah. And so far, I mean, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Dude, moving out here has been the best shit.
I'm so happy, bro. You don't understand how happy. Like, it's just hearing the stories, I'm like, yo, I can't wait. Like, that's it. Where we grew up, for one, again, I always tell people, it's like, I'm always talking to Lorraine about this. I'm like, it's not New York. New York City is great. For sure, New York City is shit. I'm happy we grew up there. Shit was dope. Like, we have no hatred in our blood, whether we like it or not, because we were exposed to just so many different people, so many kinds of people. That is just what we know. Like most people don't have that advantage that we have. Like, so for sure, I'm grateful. But what I'm learning now, with my limited time, because I'm not a kid anymore that can just explore, is that like it's the people.
Yeah.
So like just hearing you being angry, like, yo, I can't do it here anymore. I'm like, oh, my boy gotta move in over here.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna get everything he wants, but all you need is like at least 1 or 2 people to be around you, and then you got your boy Juan Carlo and
I got family.
they're right there. I'm like, just calm, bro.
It was awesome, and like even going back to it now, like every time I go over there, I'm just kind of like, dude, this place is exhausting.
Yes,
it's exhausting here.
And like I feel like I appreciate people more now. Because I'm not just, it's not like an influx of people all the time where you start devaluing people.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody becomes a nuisance. Like, just get them out, get out of my way. Yeah.
Here, I'm like, I say hi, I say good morning. It's like weird, but I naturally just say good morning to people, smile. I'm like, hey, good morning.
It's funny because that's one of the things that people always say about New York. It's like, oh, New Yorkers don't say good morning to people. Like, you don't get to say good morning to fucking 10,000 people. Like, you're walking by everybody at once.
There's
like,
no way.
There's no such thing. Yeah, people, New Yorkers do say good morning sometimes to like whoever is making their cup. Good morning, thank you, like whatever, you know. But like it's not like people just pass each other. Like, good morning. They'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
and they have their headphones on because they're looking for like a little bit of privacy, just a little bit of space, bro.
Even if you see people on the train, like you see them, that everybody's kind of like almost like in this
super
middle,
close.
Like just,
yeah,
you know. But they're kind of everybody's almost like their hands are here. Like everybody's just kind of like. My little time.
I just want a space.
I just want to hear this thing that I'm listening to, this book or this music. You know,
and just make believe I'm not here.
Yeah. and dude, it's an awesome place, but it's an exhausting place.
Bro.
At least I'm done with it. I can say that. Sure.
And especially like you got stuff like now I'm like, damn, bro, I don't want the recklessness. Cause I'm like, I got stuff that I care about now. Yeah. Like before it was like, yeah, I like the
dude,
like
Dykeman was like Dykeman City, so this is where you hang out.
This is wild over here, bro. But
now you don't want that at all. That's like the worst part about it now.
Hell yeah,
it's just too crazy.
I like the things that I've accumulated. Like I like where I'm at. You know,
everybody has a fucking gun now.
Yeah,
people
bro.
It's
too wild for me.
That's even what Danielle is always saying, like, you know, because she's against guns and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, everybody has a fucking gun except me, and I'm probably the only one that's qualified to have one around here.
Bro.
And it's like you don't like. It's just this. I don't like looking over my shoulder too much.
No,
for what? Like, you know,
and it's not exactly what's the payoff. Like for what? For what? It's like for us. Like if we were thugs, that's different. We in the life. But like now we're just in the way.
Exactly. Yeah,
we're just in the way, bro. No, I'm good, bro. I'm happy.
It's cool, and to the area we're always dope.
It's cool. It's cool, bro. I did hella research when I was like, I want something like I don't want something too much of anything. Like, cause I like the heights of like, you know, it was predominantly clearly Dominicans, but like we were exposed to everything. I'm like, I still want that, like that exposure of like, I don't want to see predominantly amount of like Spanish people, but a bunch of white people. I just want, give me a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything, yeah. It's harder to hate when there's just a little bit of everything, right? Like you got to deal with a little bit of everything all the time. It makes sense. I get it. Like you just used to one thing, and then you program yourself without even knowing. But if there's just a little bit of everything all the time, then everyone's a little more chill.
Yeah, you can't really. Yeah, it's hard to. That's the thing. Is like I always say, like you can't be an extremist in New York. You can.
I mean, exactly.
Like, it's hard to be an extremist in New York City because the chances of you bumping into people that you hate is very high. So you're gonna have a shitty day often.
All the time. Yeah. You're gonna be mad, and there are people like that are mad at the world.
Yeah, like, that was a good thing about me moving to, like when I went down to Georgia and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I got to see like, oh, okay, like, you know, New York City is.
You think everyone's like this?
Yeah, exactly. You're in your own little bubble. But like going out and like seeing why people think the way that they think, and like then there also there are situations, and like you kind of start realizing, well, like, okay, like a lot of people don't think this way sometimes. Sometimes out of necessity. Sometimes it's like out of. That's the only thing they're exposed to.
They don't know what they don't know.
Anything else. Yeah, like, well, this is just how it is around here. It's kind of like, all right, you know, like, can't hold it against you. Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's how it is. That's why I really like Raw. Like, it's not a bunch of, like I was considering, like I always told you, like Westfield was nice, and there was still a slight chance of, like, house hacking when me and Amaris were looking, but, like, no, it's too crazy for me. Like,
Westfield?
Yeah, it's too bougie.
Nah,
I was like, nah, like I want to visit there, but I don't want this to be like, you know. So
yeah, this place is dope.
I think it's dope, bro. And like access to everything, like Edison's right there.
My commute isn't bad.
Yeah, commute isn't bad. I'm assuming. Yeah, like when I was working in the city, my commute wasn't bad. You got access to trains. That's another cool thing. And we could do fun shit. Like I told you last week, you told me about the go-karts.
That shit's awesome, dude.
Bro.
I think we might go again in February because Jason, this is his birthday.
Oh, by far.
We might.
You have to, bro.
And then probably go to Taco.
That's what I'm saying. It's right next to each other. Maris was had a puke.
Really?
Yeah. So when she's here, we had a bug out. We come home and she's like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, I didn't eat anything. I didn't think it was gonna be that crazy. And she's like, I'm nauseous. But it was because the second, I don't know,
intensity of it.
We went to track 2 first, which is the one further out. Mm-hmm. That was dope because you have more like straight line to like really bust out. Yeah. The track 1, which is the one closer to the entrance, that one has a ton of curves.
That's the one we and I need to do.
Bro, that one's wild.
That one's fun.
Hell yeah, because I mean, for me, you know me. I was telling like, yo, I'm not gonna get the turbo, and the guy's like, you gotta chill. I was like, nah, I'm like, keep the turbo. Then like, it was fun. It
was a great time. It's really fun, and you didn't go to the upstairs either.
No, that we're gonna do. I mean, we have to start back our what is it, Hooky Wednesdays? Yeah, Wednesdays for the hooky.
Daniela needs it for sure.
That's what I'm telling. I think if we put money, it's always if you put like even a small amount. Mm-hmm. You know, we're like, and
it's good for. I think it's also good for her to just be able to like step away a little bit because even like 100%. Eating, bro, it's like this. And like today, for example, we were having breakfast. Yeah, and I just kind of like, just eat. It's 5 minutes. Like that, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah,
you know, like it's that. I think that time to break. You breaking up the week twice, I think, and it's cool. Yeah, and it's like 2 days. Get to do some.
You gotta have fun,
shit.
Man.
2 more days and the weekend comes. So it's just a lot easier. Even if you have to go on Wednesday back to work, like
doesn't matter. It's just even if I have to work harder, which I do, like right, for example, like we almost got 2 hours here. Mm-hmm. I'm probably gonna have to work harder, but I don't care because I get more like motivation to work harder because working harder is gonna then like I guess my mind says like I don't work. I work enough to produce the life that I want. Mm-hmm. That's it. I don't need more. If I want more, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. Like I want a Tesla this year. I'm getting a Tesla. Mm-hmm. It'll cost me a little more.
You gotta put in some hours.
So I'm gonna put in some hours. That's fine. But I'm only putting enough hours to get what I want.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Same thing. That's what I told you before. Is that I want to work the least amount as possible while making the most amount of money.
That's it.
And now I'm finally finding that space.
Yeah, bro.
Because there was a time that it was just kind of like fucking goddamn son. Fucking just pushing uphill the whole time. It's just like, when does this shit stop?
And it's like you're still pushing uphill, but pushing uphill with things you like.
Right. And like now it feels a little easier because, now I'm kind of, I feel like I'm in a stage of my life where like I'm getting more like the fruits of my labor. Like all that fucking, all the work and the shitty days and shitty nights and all that, like now is just kind of like paying off. So like I'm trying to make sure that I don't get caught until like, well,
I need more.
It's just kind of
a bigger
like,
house.
Yeah, exactly.
A nice ass house.
Yeah, I have a nice house. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
And now I have the opportunity to be home more. So like, then why not do that? Like I don't know. Like I don't need.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I don't know. It's just it doesn't make sense to me.
No, I mean, but it's thank God we caught it. Because like it's like that story with the fisherman. Remember that fisherman? He's like fishing. He fishes just enough to feed his family and to give enough to the to his neighbors. His neighbors do other things. They like whatever they catch, they give to him. A businessman comes up to him and is like, "Yo, bro, like if you work the full day instead of half a day, like then you could start selling these like in the city." He's like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, so then you can make more money." And he's like, "Okay, why?" So he's like, so then you could start a company and now you get to scale. And he's like, yeah, why? He's like, so then you can sell the company. And he's like, okay, why? So then now that you sold the company, you have all the money. Now you have all the free time to spend with your family. He's like, but I do that now. It's that
That's
idea.
Awesome. Yeah, like, it's so true. Yeah,
it's like I think more important is like knowing what you want. And for some people, it's like, I want money. That's fine. Like,
yeah, no, there's nothing wrong.
The fucking sociopaths that we need to fucking make sure our infrastructure doesn't collapse.
Like, but that's not me.
It's not me. Yeah. Like
I think we've done well enough where again, and it sucks because a lot of people are not in that situation,
Yeah.
and like hopefully they find themselves there. But
It's relative.
yeah, at least I feel like okay, I did do the fucking grunt work
Yeah.
to fucking get to this space. So like at least now I'm being better about like nah, like that's it. No, my days are short, and that's cool.
That's
I'm
fine.
doing what if I need to pick up overtime here or there, like I do.
Yeah.
But like right now, I don't need to.
Yeah, and you're embracing. You get to grow. Like I always think of like a rubber band, right? Like whatever you do, right? There's a rubber band. You pull. Sometimes this gets pulled more, but like you pull more of this rubber band, like there's slack coming to this way, like taking away from everything else.
Right.
And like you keep fucking stretching that shit out, it's gonna pop. Like you gotta like keep it balanced.
And also like something has to give to us. Some point. There were like I forgot who was it that was saying that, but it was something about like if you want to have like a good family life, you gotta sacrifice your professional life.
Yep.
If you want a good professional life, you gotta sacrifice himself. And if you gotta sacrifice himself to be a good family, it's just like this triangle thing,
Yep.
and like it's always sacrificing the
Nonstop.
Yeah, the right way.
Yeah.
Sense. So like I'm trying to like find that middle where like I could like still be like the best I can at work or like family man, but I also have some time slotted for myself.
Yeah, like I have it on my board, but I have like the 5 Fs. I have like I have family, friends, finance, fitness, and fun. So what I've told myself, I've been because I want to teach this to Abby too, and like me, Amaris has to stick to it too. Like we all have to be on, but it's like essentially only saying yes to those 5 things, nothing else, and like not giving a fuck about like if it doesn't fall into like this is fun for me because I get to hang out with you, friends, and it's fun. Like if you can get 2 out of the 5,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
that's why I'm excited about doing this. Like I say no. Like for example, like my mom asked me, fuck it. My mom asked me like, oh, why didn't you invite like some of your family members to Abby's birthday? I was like, real simple, because I think like when I say family, it's like the family that I choose, not the family that I have, and those include like the family that I choose also includes real family, but not all of them.
Right.
Because what happens then is that removes my fun. I'm not really with my family like that I chose, so it's not in that box. So now I'm sacrificing, and now I don't get to have fun. So if it doesn't fit, like people, maybe one of my cousins or my aunts is like, "Damn, Ronnie, like you couldn't invite me to your kids." Or the same thing when I an engagement party. It was more friends than like it was the people that I wanted there.
Because it's the people that you feel are uplifting.
Yeah, and the people that actually care that we got engaged, not the people that just are there for like a party. And it sucks because some people are like, "Yo, that's fucked up." I'm like, I agree. Like I can see why you think it's fucked up.
Right.
But
this
like,
is what you need to do.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I know my ultimate happiness if I'm doing those 5 things. Like if I'm in real estate, I love it. If I can bring my friends into like real estate, even better. Because now it's like it's like finance, fun, and friends or family. Like fuck, I'm having a great time. Like or like fitness. Like boom, I can get into fitness, talk fitness with you, and you're my friend. It's like
2 things.
I'm having mad fun.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. And it's funny because it's so weird too because like no matter what space you're trying to do that, you're always gonna find resistance too. Because like for example, with me in like my work environment, it's a little bit like a frat house, and it's like, well, this is how we do have our lives go.
Yeah,
like at least the guys there, and I'm like, well, that's not what I want from life. You understand? Like I'm a firefighter just like you and stuff, but my priorities are very different from yours. Like one of the things they always say is just like work first, like, and they have that mentality that like this comes first. It's like, but it doesn't. Like not only does it not come first, I don't even think it's third right now, right? Because like I'm super proud of being a firefighter. I love what I do. Like I genuinely love what I do. Yeah. Not only in the firehouse as like a regular firefighter, but like now what I'm doing in the fitness unit and like bringing in these firefighters and trying to put out the best product possible out into the field. But to them it was more of a like work function, and we got this event and that event, and you have to be there because when I was this time, I had to be there. And it's like, no, you chose to be there, and that's the difference.
Thing. Yep.
Like you chose to be there. I'm deciding that no, like I come to work, I am the best firefighter I could possibly be. When I'm here, I do when I was like a junior guy, like I do the Johnny shit, whatever it is, what it is. But once I leave, then now that time is slotted for something else.
Yeah. Now, you also understand that you're not going to be able to maybe not build those relationships with all those guys there.
Which is fine because I didn't want it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want the life that they want. Like, that's the thing. Like, I see who they become in a sense, right? Like, I see where your priorities are. I see your habits. I see how you speak, how you express yourself, your beliefs. Like, they don't associate with anything that I want at all. So it's like, why should I involve myself? Like, not only am I wasting your time, I'm wasting my time too.
100%.
It's not constructive to neither of us.
And they're not getting the best version of you.
I'm lying,
right?
Like, if I'm there, like, and I'm here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, so I'm here so I don't get fined. Yeah,
so it's just kind of one of those things. But it's just, and they had a big problem with that for a while because it's like, oh, this function. I'm like, dude, no, I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah,
I don't like being, and then on top of that, I don't like being around like drunk people, like when they're just sloppy and stuff. There was just nothing in common. So it's just like, again, it was just that thing of like, why put myself in that space if like I'm not adding anything to you, obviously, because right now I'm just being a fucking wallflower.
Yep.
Like, I'm here just because you're telling me to be, or because you did it, so you feel that I have.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Because you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But no, like, not at all. And it's like that. All that resistance though is just kind of after a while, just because the more you read, you start relating.
Oh my God, yeah.
These things, you're like, oh fuck, that was the resistance of change and growth, and these are the people that like are here at this level, and then they see you kind of doing something else, and they're like, oh, but I'm sorry, I didn't get to do that, so you're not gonna
get to do that.
Yeah, and just like, too bad, dude.
Yeah.
Remember, you always had a choice. I always tell them like, well, when I was this, I had to do it. Like, I have to be here. Like, one of the things that they say is, oh, we all have families, and I was like, and you choose to put them second.
Yeah.
Like,
you made that decision.
You made that decision.
That's it.
And that sounds super offensive, but the truth is the truth. Like,
you made a decision.
For example, like, I know for a fact that when I went into the military, my family did not come first.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely, once I made that choice to sign that contract, that was me saying, for the next years,
you guys are going to be worried.
Yeah. And the military is going to be, because they got you by the balls. Like, this is, you can't
own
go.
you, bitch.
Yeah, they own you, right? So, but that was a sacrifice that I had to take. That was my road to this place now.
Yeah.
But if I were to say at that point that like, no, yeah, my family comes first, when like something was happening at home, we're like, I can't really leave. What do you want me to do? Like,
yeah.
The reality of it is that like at that point, whether my heart was in the right place or like my family comes first, like that's not the actions that I was taking, right? So to be in a situation where like you can make that decision and continue to say that like, well, we all have families and stuff, and then sacrifice time away for them because you have to go to this work function. But really, you don't have to. You always say no and just stay home.
Yeah.
Like, I made that choice, and then sometimes people grow bitter over it.
And there's consequences both ways, for sure. But I can't stand, and that goes back to what I was saying with marriage. Like, don't think you got to be with me because we've been together. Every day, make a decision. Be like, I want to be with him, right? Every day, make a decision. I want to be a mom. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's harder, for sure. I get all that. But still, I love being a mom to these kids. I chose every day to be a mom to these kids. Same thing with me. Like, I don't like that because I feel like that's a cop out. Like, oh, you got to go to these functions. Mm-hmm. Every firefighter does. That's how they go up. We all did it, bro. Fuck up.
Yeah.
No, you chose, like, own that shit. Like, you chose to do it. Like, nothing wrong with that. Like, the DOT, like, that same thing happened to me when I was like, what are you going to do right now? I'm like, nah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to join a small little company of real estate. I'm going to make, like, a quarter of what I made.
Yeah.
You,
what?
What? You got a pension, bro. Like, you got a pension already. Like, you work for the city, you're secure. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, what happens? What happens if it fails? I'm like, let's play this out. I was like, I fail. Then what do? I got to get a job and go back to a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't that what you technically do right now?
Yeah.
It's like my worst case scenario. Like, it's kind of what you're doing. So it's like, no. And then they still wouldn't like accept. And I was like, that's how I know I don't belong here, right? I'm like, okay, bounce. Cool.
It sucks because you do see the people that are in those patterns that they just kind of like Although some people don't have the options
For sure.
to leave or like the willpower, and
For a certain time frame.
yes,
I think eventually there might be, maybe you don't see it because you're still stuck in, but I think, and like I said, there's always outliers, right? It's no definite. But for the most part, there's always an opportunity to make a move.
right.
It's just
You
whether you
gotta
take
be
it or
prepared,
not.
yeah.
Are you prepping? Like before I made that move in the DOT, I was fucking taking the train ride. The trains were fucking, I used to call it the mobile university, right? I wasn't listening to music. I still don't listen to music. It's nonstop books and podcasts and trying to like get better, right? Those are the sacrifice. So I just stopped listening to music. So
Yeah, I don't listen to music in my car at all.
It's like, this is the time for me to learn. I don't have a lot of time when I'm like with the family. I don't want to be like reading a book, telling them to fuck off.
And you can't.
Yeah.
You won't be able to like listen to anything. Yeah.
So that's the decision you make. So like, yeah, it's hard. You make sacrifices, you prep, and you fucking do it though. That's it. You don't say like, oh, I have to do this, or oh, I fell here, I got no choice. No, motherfucker, you got choices. They're just hard.
Yeah. And you're gonna experience some resistance.
That's
like,
it.
That's it. And it's worth it though, too, because like then like sometimes you find it like eventually something's gonna happen where like, okay, I am making the right choice.
Yeah.
100%. Because like I know for a fact that like my relationship is as healthy as ever been. I feel as healthy as it's ever been. My fucking growth has been great when it comes to like finance and stuff like that. Because that's the thing, when you put yourself in those situations where like you don't want to do this shit, you end up spending time that you don't have, money you don't have, with people you don't like, doing something you don't want to do.
God. And then you end up going to an indoor gym where you're paying someone
So,
to beat you down for 3 weeks.
Now it goes back to that. Exactly. So they have this, it's just fucking,
That's what happens, bro.
You start chipping away at your fucking life. And then like,
son.
you do that long enough, you can fucking like corner yourself in a situation where like you end up with a life that you didn't want at all.
Scary.
Like, and it's just, yeah, okay, so now all these people are happy with you because like, oh no, yeah, he was always a house guy. He always showed up to functions. But like, you're an old man one day and you're like, fuck, my only friends are people that I had at work.
That I don't really like, maybe, or...
Exactly. I never really got to be myself. Now work is done, let's say, for example, when you retire.
No.
And now all of that is gone. And you eventually have to come to the point where, like, you reflect enough and you're like, fuck, this is not the life I wanted.
That's scary, son.
That is fucking scary.
That scares me, bro.
Yeah, this is why I always say that, for example, like, time, to me, after the military, time is so fucking valuable, bro. Time is so valuable. And I always say, like, and this sounds super stupid, but I would hate to be in a position where, like, I died doing something that I didn't want to do.
Bro, that's brutal.
On the way to doing something I didn't want to do.
That's brutal, son.
You understand? Because it's kind of like everybody always thinks, like, you know, your last moments be versus with the people you love.
Yeah.
And just kind of like that whole thing. So, like, imagine you in this fucking, you spend the last day just fucking doing this, being fake. Around people you don't want to be around, and then something happens, and then that was it.
That was it, son. Nah,
that's fucking.
that gets me anxious, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Hell no.
So that's why, right now, I'm in the best place I could be.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Because even at work, bro, it's fucking great, especially with the unit now.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah,
that's fucking cool. Want to wrap it up?
Yeah, dude. Damn.
So I knew we were gonna go off, bro. I knew it. That's a wrap.